Tape www.suividécole-au-sénégal.com. À École au Sénégal, c'est facile, tu n'as qu'à te connecter. Tape École au Sénégal, les leçons sont beaucoup plus détaillées.
Good. We are going to move to the next sentence, sentence number 4. Why don't we go to the picture? Rama suggested. So this is a kind of suggestion. So if you report this sentence, you say Rama suggested going out for the picture. Rama suggested going out for the picture or to the picture. Let us say to the picture. To the picture. Rama suggested going to the picture. Please help me. Paul begged. To beg is to ask something with sadness, okay? To ask something, talibers beg on the street, okay? To beg is to ask in the shape of God, as I said, okay? So we have please help me. Paul begged. So we say Paul begged for help. Paul begged for help. Or you can say Paul, you can also say Paul asked for help. Okay, so you have two possibilities here in this sentence. Paul begged for help or Paul asked for help. The next exercise is about reformulation. They ask you to rephrase the following sentences. Rephrase the sentences. You have the first sentence. She threw a stone at me as I opened the window. So you have the prompt is on. When you have on the sentence, on, after, before, the verb, the coming verbs should always be in the ing form, at the gerund, okay? So here you say, on opening, the window, on opening the window, comma, she threw a stone at me. She threw a stone at me. So what is important in this sentence is this part. On opening the window. You see, we change. I open the window. You change it. It go with on. You see. You have the young boy was aggressive, but the lady was not afraid. The young boy was aggressive, but the lady was not afraid. No matter No matter go always with how. No matter how aggressive plus adjective. Aggressive. The boy was. Okay, the boy was. The lady was not afraid. No matter how aggressive the boy was, the lady was not afraid. Here you have aggressive, you have despite. Despite his, we talk about the boy. Despite his aggressiveness, now, despite his aggressiveness, you have the adjective here, and here with despite you have the noun. Despite his aggressiveness, the lady was not afraid. Okay, so you have no matter and you have despite. Okay, they must take a strict measure against bad program on TV. Strict measure, you have must model, and you know in the, if you put a model in the passive voice, you use the model plus be. So you say strict measure must plus the past participle, of course, okay, must be taken against bad program on TV. Against bad program on TV. So strict measures must be taken against bad program on TV. Okay, so you have here must, you have be, and you have the past participle of the verb to take. Why don't we see our friends today? Okay, you have the prompt is what about. Whenever you see what about, the following verbs should be in ing form. Use a gerund, ing form. So, what about, why don't we see? The verb here is to see. So what should we say here? What should we say? We should of course say, what about seeing our friends today? What about seeing our friends today? What about going out today? Okay. What about organizing a party today? So what about go always with ing form? Okay. You will have your cell phone if you pass your exam. And the prompt is unless. You will have your cell phone if you pass your exam. Unless you pass your exam, Comment? You won't have your cell phone. Unless you pass your exam, you won't have your cell phone. So unless, the part with unless should always be in the affirmative form, never negative. Okay? It is only the second clause that change. It can be in the affirmative form, it can also be in the negative form, as it is the case here. You see? So be careful when dealing with unless. The part with unless should always be in the affirmative form. And you see, it replaces if. Okay? It is a synonym of if. You have the sentence with if here, the if clause, if you pass your exam. As they say here, unless you pass your exam. If you pass your exam, is replaced by unless you pass your exam. So here we have will, you will have, with if you have will, but with unless you have the negative of will. Okay? So be careful. So this is the exercise I propose you today. Meditate about it, and you have to repeat it again when watching on YouTube for you to understand how it works. Thank you very much. See you next time.
www.suividecole au Sénégal.